in the interest of Luna Mia Venezuela, a child. We are present on a suit for modification of support order and motion to confirm support arrearage. And the father of the child, Jesse Lee Schelper, is present virtually with his attorney, Kirk Hawkins, also present virtually. And y'all are ready to proceed with a default order against Miss Venezuela. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And it is your case, Ms. Starr, so I will proceed.
Okay, I'll call Jesse Schelper.
Whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Mr. Schelper, the child lives with Miss Venezuela, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the last order in this case was done in June of 2023. So just a little over a year ago, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And at that time, how was the child insured for health insurance purposes?
I do not know.
Okay. So if that court order said that Miss Venezuela would maintain the child on insurance through a government plan, you don't have any disagreement with that, right?
I don't exactly understand what that means.
Okay. As far as you know, has anything changed as far as the child's medical insurance since the last order?
I don't know anything about her really. She has not allowed me to be in her life.
Okay. How are you employed?
I am not employed.
Okay, and why is that?
Because I'm disabled. I have degenerative disc disease, and I am currently in the process of filing for disability.
It was the last job that you held.
The Double J lamb plant, lamb processing plant in Tom Green County, until I believe July of last year, 23.
Okay, and what did you do there?
I was a meat processor.
Okay. And how much did you make?
$75 an hour, but I do have those records if you would like me to check.
Okay. And how many hours a week did you typically work?
I also have those records. If you wouldn't mind, I can look. I actually have all the records from my HR department for all of that.
Okay. And why did you leave that job?
I could no longer do the work anymore because of my disability.
Okay. And have you tried to find any other type of job since you left the lamb processing plant?
I've looked into working at home from a computer like a lot of people do nowadays, but I don't have the my computer is extremely old and wouldn't be capable of handling that. I also looked into being a driver, like an Uber driver, but my vehicle does not qualify for it, being that it doesn't have a back seat. So I have been focusing my attention on trying to get the disability going and get that settled.
Okay. And have you filed for disability yet?
I have not filed for disability yet.
And do you have anyone helping you, a community organization or an attorney?
I do not. Just the my doctor and my family that are helping me get through the disability process.
Okay. And how are you living? How are you paying your expenses of living?
I live with my girlfriend, and she pays for our living arrangements and everything else while I'm in the process of filing for disability.
Okay, have you paid any monies to Ms. Valenzuela directly for
I
child?
did. I did before the child support order was placed, was put into effect. From the time that our daughter was born to the time that I resigned from my job, I paid her in cash by hand, personally, and I have, once again, I have the records here somewhere, but I averaged it out, and I was paying her somewhere around $93 a week. Yes, a week out of every paycheck on average. Depending, sometimes I'd give her like 120, sometimes I'd get a low check and it'd be 80, but I averaged it together over all of that time, and it ended up being somewhere close to $93 or so per week. And
Okay, but you've not paid her anything directly since the court order went into effect.
that is correct.
All right. At this time, we'd offer Petitioner's Exhibit 1, which is the payment record maintained by the Office of the Attorney General in this case.
You may share the screen. And what is the date? Is this dated 10/22?
Yeah, I pulled it today, yes.
So it's showing, as of yesterday, if we go through yesterday, that you owe child support arrears of $6,742.64. And medical support arrears of $1,464.53. Do you have any objections as to this record, Mr. Hawkins?
No, ma'am.
And so State's Exhibit 1 is admitted. You may take the screen share down.
So, Mr. Schelper, do you have any concerns for your safety or for the child's safety if your information were to be put in the court's order?
Absolutely.
I didn't hear what
Sure.
you said. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. I would absolutely fear for my safety and
Okay.
and the safety of my family as well.
And can you tell the court why that is?
Whenever I was in a relationship and with Miss Valenzuela and we were still living together, she beat me physically the entire time that she was pregnant, and she threatened to countless times. She stole money from my bank account. She broke everything of value that I owned. She threatened to have me set up and sent to prison for something I didn't do. She told me very clearly that she had set people up before and that they were currently in prison. And she also threatened to burn down both my parents' houses if I ever attempted to fight back in any form or fashion. I'm absolutely terrified of her and what she will do to me if I attempt to get visitation, or if I don't. What she told me that she wanted me to do was to pay up and to never request visitation or else. And I'm absolutely terrified of what will happen if I attempt to get visitation or if I don't pay up.
I will pass the witness.
Okay. Now, when was your degenerative spinal defect originally diagnosed?
2011, I believe.
Okay. And were you able to work and function after that?
I was able
You got
to.
the diagnosis. Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so you got the diagnosis. What are you saying it's just gotten worse since then?
It, as the name suggests, it's degenerative, and it does get worse every year, and work becomes physical work simple things like walking upstairs and getting in and out of cars is getting harder and harder every year. And I worked as much as I could until I couldn't anymore, which was in July of last year.
Okay. And so, did you start a process of getting evaluated for the purposes of disability sometime last summer?
I started the process of getting evaluated for disability this year.
Yeah, I'm talking about this past summer in
Yes.
2024.
Yes.
Okay. And it was part of that plan of care is that you had to undergo some physical therapy.
6 weeks of physical therapy, 3 days a week for 6 weeks, which I completed for my insurance to consider my request for the MRI. I completed that and submitted the request for the MRI to my insurance on the 7th of this month, October 7th, and I am awaiting their decision on it, which should be at any time now.
Okay. So, Honor, may I introduce a couple of exhibits?
Yes.
Would you identify this document for us?
This is
Jesse?
the document from my doctor this year that I went to see about my MRI. She's the one that that informed me that I needed to do the 6 months of physical therapy. 6 weeks of physical therapy, and she's the one that sent the request to my insurance to approve my MRI, and it just has my general diagnosis and the plan for the physical therapy.
Okay. All right. So with that, introduce respondents exhibit 1.
Okay, can you scroll through it before you take it down, Miss?
Sure. Just tell me when you want me to go some more.
All right, you keep going, just that speed's good. Okay, all right, and that's the bottom, isn't it? Or is there more?
Yes.
I think it's just
Well,
one
okay.
page. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
one page.
All right, so respondents exhibit 1 is admitted.
Okay. And now I'd like to introduce respondents exhibit.
That one?
Yes. Jesse, is this your original diagnosis?
This is my original diagnosis done in 2011, and it should say that, yeah, procedure done on 03/14/11, done in Tom Green County at Shannon Medical Center, where they diagnosed the lumbar spine degeneration of the discs.
Yeah. And it shows that they did an MRI on March 14th, 2011. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, if we could scroll down through it. So,
Okay, I finished reviewing. If
Okay.
there's more.
There's a page 2. I'm not sure how much.
yeah, there's a page 2.
Okay,
There's a page 3. No, it doesn't. It just talks about the scan.
all right. Any
That's the
objections?
report. No.
Right, any objections to this exhibit?
I would like to introduce our respondents exhibit number 3.
No objection.
Any admitted?
Okay, and that's all I'm going to introduce right now at this point.
Okay.
I do have a copy or a
You
picture
can
of
take the screen down.
Okay.
the referral for the MRI, which was ordered on October 7th, 2024, that had been, that's when it, yeah.
And
it
that's the
sent
one
to-
waiting on insurance
Yes,
approval.
approval.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Hawkins?
Are you able to do any kind of physical exertion or work right now?
Very, very little. I can walk, and for which I'm very grateful for, but standing on my feet for more than an hour or two, or any kind of lifting, or I can't run anymore, anything like that causes me not just pain, but weakness, and to the point where I am bedridden and have to stay in bed for long periods of time. But the sciatica that comes with it is also a major factor. Things like getting in and out of car doors and walking up steps and stuff causes me extreme pain. And sciatica is very, very sharp shooting pains, and there's been many times where I've almost fallen down because of it.
Okay, let me ask you this. Your former employer, who did you work for?
Double J Lamb Incorporated.
Okay. And how long did you work for them?
I worked for them, I think, for 2.5 or 3 years, with a short 2 or 3 week break in the middle.
Okay. And did you toward the end of your time there, did your supervisor try to assign you different duties that weren't so physically tasking?
They did. And I'd been employed there for such a long time since the plant opened up that they were determined to keep me employed there. But over the stretch of my time there, I went from one of the highest productivity employees to one of the lowest, even though I was one of the most experienced people there, because I physically could not do the work anymore. And my last position there was in a place called Fabrication, where they break the meat down into cuts, and all it is just standing over a table cutting into meat, and I couldn't even do that because I couldn't stand on my feet long enough to perform the job.
Okay. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further of this witness, Ms. Starr?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Do all parties rest and close?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
In any argument?
I don't really know what to ask for at this point, because I don't know that a minimum wage order is appropriate, Your Honor, because he can't do a minimum wage job, it seems. So we'd ask the court to set child support at 0, because I don't think he can work or pay child support at this time. If he applies for Social Security disability, then perhaps there will be a benefit for the child at that time.
Okay. And
We
Mr. Hawkins, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were through.
I concur with, are you through, Martha? I'm sorry.
Well, we do have to set a payment plan on the arrears, though.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
Okay.
And Mr. Hawkins?
I concur with Ms. Starr. There's a young man who has worked, but seeing him physically trying to move around, he's not. You could tell there's some impairment there. And right now he's in a good location where he can, but knows he started this process some time ago, and it's just a long process. They required the physical therapy before they even consider letting him get the MRI. So I would ask the court for a 0 child support.
Okay. Give me a few minutes to review my notes and make a ruling. Okay, I find that this court does have jurisdiction. Evidence would support a finding that Mr. Schelper has no income. He has reached a point of unable to work, is attempting Social Security disability, but has not any income from that either. Having found that he has no income, I will continue to order Ms. Venezuela to maintain the medical through government sources as previously ordered, and modify Mr. Schelper's Child support, ordering him to pay $0 per month in child support, $0 per month in cash medical support, all beginning November 1st, 2024. Continuing monthly thereafter until the child attains the age of 18 or graduates from high school, whichever occurs last or is otherwise emancipated, or further order of the court. I find that Mr. Schelper does owe child support arrears of $6,742.64 and medical support arrears of $1,464.53 as of October 21st, 2024. Those amounts are reduced to judgment against Mr. Schelper, and he is ordered to pay the judgments, the child support judgment at $75 per month, the medical support judgment at $25 per month. Those are fairly basic payments that'll try to keep your interest at bay, where the judgments don't just keep growing against you. Those begin on November 1st, 2025. Just do the best you can as far as getting payments in. And income withholding is ordered. Cost of court the case are taxed to the party incurring the same. And non-disclosure of information is ordered as to the father, Jesse Schelper, due to prior threats. Anything further before the court and not addressed?
I don't believe so.
All right, I have made my ruling. I will ask the Attorney General's office to prepare this ruling in written form. Once I review it against the judgment I have rendered and approve it and sign it, a copy will be mailed to Ms. Venezuela, as well as Mr. Hawkins and Ms. Starr. You will get your copy from Mr. Hawkins, Mr. Schelper.
Thank you.
All right, you're free to go today. Just hit the red leave meeting button, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you use words in dealing with my client, Miss Wheatley, the mother, that she went and grabbed the child out of the car. Those were your direct statements. She went and grabbed the child out of the car.
You enjoy testifying in cases like this?
I sure don't, no, sir. But I'm happy to be here.
Okay. You don't have to
Oh,
be
you
happy
don't-
to be
you
here.
don't
You're
even
under,
have to
you're
say
under
that.
oath, so let's not retract that statement real quick.